in the QU Office Honors Program. My name is Melissa.
I'm Gavin.
I'm Amanda, and today we're interviewing Dr. Strudwick, the advisor of the QU Honors Program.
Could you tell us a little bit about yourself, like what classes you took and why you became a teacher and why you go here and you're an advisor?
Okay, how I came to QU, I'll start a little bit earlier and tell you a bit about my academic background. I'm originally from New Jersey, and I lived in New Jersey for my first 9 years, and we moved after that to Phoenix, Arizona, where I spent the next 9 years and finished high school there. And at that point, I thought I was going to go on to priesthood, so I entered a seminary, and I was a seminary student at St. Meinrad, which is in southern Indiana, not too far from here. And I finished up my studies at St. Meinrad and took a little time off from the seminary to reconsider if that's really where I wanted to be, and found myself giving the seminary one more chance. And I was in New Jersey at the time. I studied at Seton Hall and was subsequently sent to Rome, where I finished my first graduate school degree was from Rome. And at that point discerned that I was not going to go on to continue priestly studies, but I really realized that I wanted to continue in academia. And even while I was a seminarian and studying to be a priest, I was really looking to teach at the university level, and that was the plan. So I later, after finishing there, continued my studies at Duquesne University in Pittsburgh. So I moved from New Jersey to Pittsburgh and spent 7 years there, finishing up the PhD program. And when I did, I was looking for a smaller Catholic college or university at which I could teach, and Quincy University came up on the list, and it all worked out well, and I found myself here, and I've been here now for 2.5 years.
Okay. I guess going with that would be how did you become the honors advisor? Did they give you an honors and when you were in college, or?
Well, I suppose the simple answer would be that I was asked by Dr. Gervasi to take over the program, but I think it was in part, I'm hoping, due to the fact that I believe in fine scholarship, and I'm very much about promoting the university and promoting us as an academic institution. So I hope that comes across in some of my conversations, and perhaps it did. And I suppose I also came across with a certain amount of energy, and I'm hoping to put that to use within the program, to really develop it and to promote the honors program. So, and in relationship to courses that I teach here, I'm a theology professor here at the university, so I teach a number of courses which would fall under the auspices of systematic theology, and some courses that would fall into pastoral theology, so a little bit of both.
What do you do as the honors advisor?
Well, there are a number of things, and I'm still in my first year, so I'm learning the ropes a bit of what I should do and what I need to do and what I'm hoping to do in the future. The first thing to say is that I work on promoting the program. So I'm looking to make sure that we're bringing in capable and qualified candidates into the program. So I'm involved with the screening process, which, as you know, to come in, you would have to have had a 3.5 GPA or higher from high school and achieved a 27 or above on the ACT, and or also have been chosen to be part of the presidential scholarship that we have here on campus. And so we're looking at people who are applying and would like to be a part of the honors program. And then I also follow up on that. For instance, right now I'm in the process of inviting students who may not have joined honors at first but want to become part of the honors program and achieved a 3.5 or higher upon their first semester here at the university. So there were a number of those students, and it looks like we might be adding another 20-25 students to our honors program after this last semester. So the first thing would be to promote the program, check credentials, to encourage excellence in the program. I mean, the program itself is about promoting academic excellence among students and encouraging them in their scholarship, and so I'm there to make sure that that's happening. And the other component, which I'm hoping will follow upon that would be to promote the program into the future, to move it ahead. And then, as I'm learning the ropes, I'm coming to grips with a few ideas that we might look to in the future, especially in scholarship. We might talk about that further.
To go along with that, what do you enjoy most as being the advisor of the honors program?
I think that what I like the most would be the interaction with the honors students. When I was a student, I was very curious about many things, and I find that I still am curious about many things. But it seems that the students that I find in the honors program fall into that same category. They're people that really want to learn, that they're not just about achieving grades, but are about gaining knowledge and wanting to know and to pursue truth in the world, whether that be within the humanities or whether it be within the sciences. And so I find myself just enjoying the company of the honor students, and I think that's probably the most beneficial part. And sometimes in teaching some of those courses, I'm privileged to be able to be a part of conversations that take place among students that are held at a higher level, among students who are very serious about their studies and have completed the reading before coming into class and are really ready to be there and are excited about learning. So.
What are some of the major honor activities that take place during the school year? What activities are coming up soon?
Okay, well, we have at this point 3 social activities that are slated, and we might bolster that as time goes on. But what I took over, I'm continuing, which is the tradition of having a beginning of the year gathering, a Christmas party in the middle of the year, and then an end of the year banquet, which has been held at Tiramisu for a number of years now. Nice thing, next year, starting the beginning of the fall, Dr. Gervasi and Mrs. Gervasi have volunteered to host the first party. So the first gathering in the fall now will be held at their home, and we're excited about that. And I think that's a great privilege, especially for incoming freshmen, to be able to spend some time with the president and his wife at their home as they enter the university. So there are 3 social activities, and then on top of that, we're looking at some potential activities which might involve travel. We're looking at, right now we've just forged a relationship with the American University of Rome, and starting not this summer but the following summer, we will be enrolling students to attend a June session there, which will be made up of 2 courses, one taught by a Quincy University professor, one taught by a Roman professor, and honor students will have the first right of refusal because the spaces will be limited. So each year honor students will be invited, and it will be partly supplemented in cost by the school. So that will be another potential activity.
Relating to the actual program, how would you recommend for honor students to go about taking 6 honor courses in order to graduate with honors?
Okay. In coming in this year, one of the things that I've noted or realized is that it's quite a challenge for students to complete the 6 courses depending upon the program that they're majoring in. For instance, nursing, it posed a very difficult problem for nursing students because their schedule is so tight, and they're also not just taking courses here but over there as well. So we just had a recent meeting with the nursing staff, those in charge there, and they are working with us now to try to come up with courses that are honors worthy within the nursing program itself. So that's one example of what we're trying to do to make it a little bit easier for students. But the other thing I would say is for the general student, not in the nursing program, we're also working to try to make more courses actual honors courses. At this point we have maybe 5 or 6 on a rotation. We'd like to add to that number. And then in addition to that, we're also in the process now, there's a committee meeting to form a new major which would be focused upon the great books. And I don't know if you're familiar with that, but it's a great books program. The major itself would take a student through all the greatest works of literature, obviously, over the course of 4 years. Those courses are going to work in conjunction also with the honors program. They would be, all of those courses that would be offered as part of the Great Books program would be honors worthy, and would also, we're looking to see how they would fulfill general education requirements as well. So that would offer a whole new host of courses for honor students who would be able to take them fulfill a requirement as well as fulfill an honors-worthy component.
And finally, how is the honors program beneficial to students?
Well, there are a number of things that I think are benefits. I mean, I would say the first one is the ability for students to be able to attend honors designated courses, which are courses that, as I mentioned before, are occupied by all students who are honor students, and therefore adding to a different level of conversation and a different level of even competition in a very good way. The other thing would be, I didn't mention contracts and by way of fulfilling your 6 courses, but the contracts themselves also allow for students to be able to take a general course and make it a little more challenging and add a new component to it. And we're trying to stress that the contracts themselves, the component of work that would make the course honors-worthy, should not just be busy work, but should be the type of work that actually is a benefit to the student, so that the student takes on a project that actually helps them in the future, and that they might do something they might not otherwise have done. So the contracts themselves can add a different dimension to general courses. The other thing would be that there are those social events that we mentioned, and it gives students a time to be together with other students and in a social context and maybe discuss things that are either academic or non-academic. So maybe the forging of friendships, and I know those friendships can also promote a good amount of friendly competition also. On the practical level, one of the things students constantly tell me that they like about the honors program as a practical benefit is the ability to register early. We all know that if you're an honors student, you register before anyone else in the university, including seniors, and that's quite a benefit, especially if you have particular courses that you really want to take that fill up. So I think that's a way that we can reward honors students who are actually going the extra mile and pursuing excellence. The other thing, which is another practical concern, but something that's very significant, is if you were to look at a transcript, and I took the opportunity to do it for the first time, to look at how our transcript would go out to a graduate school and what they would receive. And when you look at the transcript, on the top left-hand corner, you would find the student's name. Directly below that, if they finished the honors program, it reads Honors Scholar. And so they don't have to fish around on your transcript to see that you actually have completed the program as an honors scholar. And that can be very significant when someone is going through and looking at a number of transcripts. That can be very helpful for them to note that you really have pursued a level of academic excellence here at this institution. And the final thing, and I think the most important, is just the fellowship of scholars themselves, the scholarly community that you're a part of, I think promotes bringing out the best in individuals. And I think that in and of itself is probably the greatest reward of being in the honors program itself.
Great. You guys have questions?
No. Thank you.
Thank you for your
Thank you.
time.
Thank you.